Ah, you're here today. I've been meaning to talk to you. Since you approached me first, I assume you're going to ask about the work details today since you're typically clueless at what we do here. I am mildly impressed by your ability to remain employed. If not, I do apologize for my immediate assumption. So you were going to ask me that. You'll have to wait. I would like to begin a casual discussion with you before continuing. Many of the employees here seem to refrain from doing so with me, but you are always up for the occasion. This is why I appreciate it when you come to work, especially on my shift. A standard discussion question, which can often be used either casually or formally, is, how's the weather? So I will be asking you this question. My fellow coworker, how do you view the weather today? It's chilly? I would have to agree. When I arrived this morning, the weather was freezing cold, and I had forgotten my jacket. I was sure that I would catch hypothermia, but I didn't. Don't you believe that to be fascinating? Indeed, not catching hypothermia under those circumstances was quite a stroke of luck. However, I do believe I will come down with a cold within the coming days, so I intend on calling sick leave when the time comes. I am sure that you'll miss me on the days that I am absent, since I am one of the few people you talk to at the office. Rarely you'll even smirk at one of my remarks, despite my lack of humor. Have you come down with an illness as well? Your cheeks seem to be turning red. Unless you are simply blushing since I am pretty, or you like my voice. You're embarrassed? That's quite the emotional response. Very well, I will refrain from continuing with how badly you will miss me if I were to go on sick leave. I believe you shall find comfort with the end of that discussion. Let's attempt to switch topics, shall we? Did you know that caffeine can increase the athletic output of an individual by 3%? If we are going to continue in the workplace, we will need that 3% to prevent burnout or frustration by the end of the day. Do you mind setting up the coffee machine and making us both a cup? And add extra sugar to mine, please. Delicious as always. Throughout this year, you've served me plenty of cups of coffee, and each time you perfected. It's rather impressive how consistent you are at serving coffee to me, since you're inconsistent at arriving on time to work, submitting finished documents, and filing paperwork for each day. Interesting how I am one of the few things you care about on a day-to-day basis. No, I am not teasing you. I'm listing facts. It would be unbecoming to mock or belittle a coworker. I choose to refrain from doing so. It would be ignorant of me to disregard your fondness towards me, though. In some cases, it can even be seen as rude to pretend your indirect affection doesn't exist at all. If you would really be happier by me dropping the subject, then so be it. Let's talk about the work details today instead. Here it is. We should work together today. Splitting this paperwork evenly should make us quite efficient. Do you mind if we share a cubicle? I'm not too big, so we can both fit. You seem apprehensive. I assure you, sharing a cubicle is perfectly normal. If all of the work is done with this approach, we can be done by noon. Then we'll have more time to talk and drink coffee. It sounds like a splendid idea from my perspective. Great, so bring in a chair and we'll get to work. I'm glad you're easy to convince. It's always cute when you begin to understand something, like a puppy receiving a toy for the first time. Yes, I said you're cute. Is that an issue or simply unprofessional? Either way, it shouldn't prevent us from doing our jobs today. You like being showered with compliments and praise, don't you? All I ask is that you don't get too flustered so we can continue. As I anticipated, we're done much sooner than if we had worked separately. We make quite a pair. Now we have a bunch of time to ourselves. So, what do you plan on doing for the rest of the day, coworker? You seem very comfortable now that there's nothing to do. You want to talk to me. It's a shame I'm not the best conversationalist. So be it. I'll try my best to satisfy your interests. Holding a conversation with you may help my social skills overall, so it may be beneficial. I'd like to say something first. Isn't this job boring? Like, it's incredibly run-of-the-mill, and yet it pays super well. File papers and scribble on a few documents, then boom, paycheck. I know, right? Some people would kill for our positions, but personally I find it to be redundant, especially after being here for so long. I'm just glad you're around, and that you have a crush on me. It keeps me a little entertained when you are flustered. Or when you're staring, then forget I can look right back at you. It's adorable. Why are you surprised? You being smitten for me was quite obvious. It is quite strange how, when I brought it up with other employees, they barely had a clue on what I meant. Maybe you've been good at hiding it. I'm unsure on that part. Oh, I don't mind that you like me. You're an excellent friend, and I'll be lenient on your attitude towards this job, since that's not too important to me. But if we compare each other's hobbies, strengths, and ability to work cohesively, then we are quite compatible, aren't we? You'd be an ideal partner in a relationship with me. You still seem shocked. Am I approaching this the wrong way? I'm very sorry if I am. I haven't really progressed that far with any romantic encounters in my life. I was hoping you'd accept quickly so it's simpler for me to learn. It'd be my first genuine relationship. My first for a lot of things, if you are willing to go this way with me. I tolerate you deeply. Passionately, even. And I hope you're still willing to reciprocate those feelings back. You're hugging me. Tightly. I haven't had this feeling for quite some time. Is this a usual response to someone else's confession? It feels warm. This hug is good. No, don't let go. I like it. Or actually, you should let go, now that I think about it. We're going to get some awkward stares at the office if you keep going. But I appreciate you for hugging me. You want to go on a date after work? Of course. I will accept your request, since we seem to share similar feelings to each other. At the end of the day, I'll accompany you to that small bistro a few blocks from here. Now, let's hang out here for a little while longer. And thank you for falling in love with me. Oh, baby. Hi. Come on. Yes, hello.